Is the standard all-star good enough for Modern? We're going to find out with a History of Benalia Knights Tribal deck. At its core, this is a Collected Company deck. So we've got 4 copies of Collected Company with a bunch of Knights. We are running Dauntless Bodyguard, Student of Warfare, Knight of Meadowgrain, Knight of the White Orchard, Metallic Mimic, who can come in as a knight and pump your other knights, since there's not a lot of good 2-drop knights that I wanted to play. Knight Exemplar, who's really the all-star in the deck, since it can give your other knights indestructible, and if you have 2 of them, it allows you to push into the red zone with all of your knight creatures, not having to worry about losing any of those creatures in combat. Mirran Crusader is really good since it can give you a game 1 advantage against an opponent that's playing black and green. Knight of the Reliquary is here to fetch up any of our lands if we flood out a little bit, so we can get Gavney Township if we want to pump up our team. Ghost Quarter to take out a land that our opponent has we don't like. Horizon Canopy to draw a little bit. We're only running 2 since we're not that heavy in the lands plan. And we got 3 Wiltleaf Cavaliers, just as solid 3/4 Vigilance bodies. Since we are playing a Collected Company deck, I didn't want to run too many non-creature spells, so we only have 3 History of Benalias and only 2 Path to Exiles. I am playing 4 Noble Hierarchs just as a ramp card that can get to Collected Company that much sooner. It also allows me to play my 3-drops on turn 2 since I have so many powerful 3-drops that I really want to land as soon as possible. The sideboard has a little bit of everything just to hedge against all the different matchups we might have. Additional removal and Path to Exile. Blessed Alliance is there in case we run into Boggles, as is Engineers. Rest in Peace for graveyard decks. Stony Silence for artifact decks. Eidolon or Rhetoric for Storm. I'm choosing to try out Shalai over Leyline of Sanctity to give me hexproof, just to see if that's any good. Got 1 copy of Worship just to throw off any decks that are not going to have enchantment removal in their post-boarded games. We have 2 Kasali Pride Mages as additional enchantment and artifact hate. And lastly, 1 Gaddock Teague, which is a non-bow with Collected Company, but still it's a card I wanted to try out just in case there was some scenario where I ran into a deck that I wanted that against. And with that, let's get into the games.
All right, here we are for our next match. A lot of 3-drops. We are on the draw. We have Horizon Canopy in case we just flood out a little bit. This can help us dig a little deeper through our deck. And these are the kind of cards I want to see. I just really wish I had a Hierarch or a Knight of the White Orchid. I'll keep. Frankly, I don't think this deck is going to have incredibly powerful hands. So really relying on not mulliganing might be how I win this. Not excited to see Shambling Vent. This is telling me he's going to be playing Abzan, which means he's going to have the paths for my Knight Exemplars. He's going to have Liliana, which hopefully I can get with History of Benalia. Crusader's going to be how I win this game, so hopefully he doesn't path it. And I've got 3 cards he really needs to path, and then Benalia will keep me from Liliana triggers. So let's just fetch up a land. I'm just going to get Temple Garden pass and hope for a playable 2-drop. So double Shambling Vent. He might not be playing Abzan. He might be playing Pox, which would be another reason to not be mulliganing, because that deck can really punish your mulligans. He's not cast any sort of discard spell. But that could be what's next. Let's see what he's got. Scholar. Well, got quite a few duplicates, so I will let my opponent make his pick. But either way, I'm playing a History of Benalia next turn. Yeah, I'm not really too scared of this. It's gonna get eaten by pretty much any of my guys. Yeah, so I took a Knight Exemplar. I'm going to fetch up the other Temple Garden. No, okay, life. Cavaliers isn't bad, but I'm just going to get this history down. Let us see the Saga in action. This is why we built the deck. This is why we built the deck. This token, just absolutely beautiful. The art on both these is really just amazing. So my opponent missed his land drop in his turn 3, and it looks like he might be doing it again. Is he taking the other Knight Exemplar? I would be okay with that. I'm just going to slam another History, get 2 Knights, and then they're going to get out of control with pumps on turn, 5 and 6. Okay, yep, there's another Knight Exemplar. I don't see him, coming in. Another History. Well, we're going to play History. Play Horizon Canopy. And we're going to swing. Don't anticipate any blockers. Yep. Okay, let's see if my opponent can draw his 3rd land. There it is, the 3rd Shambling Vent. Don't really know what he's up to. This really could be anything. Some sort of black-white Death and Taxes? No, I wouldn't play that. Some sort of Zombies deck? No, maybe this Death and Taxes. There's the Thalia. I'm glad I got, the Histories down. But I'm just going to play another one. Yeah, because he's still not doing anything. Knights. It doesn't really matter. It's until end of turn. It's not until my next turn. So I'm going to play a Township. I'm going to play a... Oh. No, I should still play this, and next turn I can Township. Yeah, I'm just going to play 3rd History here. This is just... This is good. This feels good. The deck's doing what I wanted it to do, and that feels good. Opponent's taking 12. He's down to 6. Any 2 creatures will be lethal next turn because I have the History, and I will have 5 attackers. So he'll need a blocker, and even still, 1 blocker puts him into chumping everything. I mean, heck, even Lingering Souls is not going to get him out of this. So Ghost Quarter, not really a problem. I mean, Damnation. Well, he can't even play Damnation or Wrath because he has the Thalia. So if he swings with the Thalia, I'm not going to block. Okay, there we go. Got the concession. The power of this card. Modern playable. History of Benalia. Look at that. Taking down a Death and Taxes that did not have a good hand. Okay. Against Death and Taxes. Pride Mage could be good. Is just a solid 2-drop. Explosives could be good. You can name it 2s. 2s, I have the least amount of 2s. And this could take out, Leonin Arbiters, Thalia, Tide Hollow Scullers. Didn't see, other than Ghost Quarter, didn't see any cards that produce colorless mana. So I'm guessing he's not playing Eldrazi. He's just playing a regular old black and white, which actually is a reason to really actually play this Engineered Explosives. I've seen some of these lists in the more grindy mid-range matchups play Bitter Blossom and Lingering Souls. So having an option to slam Explosives on 0 to clear out the tokens is good, and Pride Mage to blow up any Bitter Blossom is also going to be good. So I like these 3 cards. Is he going to have an answer to Worship? Probably not, right? Other than killing my guys, but other than that, I think Worship might be pretty good. Shalai also seems pretty decent. Stops any sort of targeted discard effect. So these are the 5 cards that could come in. I like the Knights right here. I like these 3 Knights. Dauntless seem a little weak. I could probably trim on Dauntless. Probably don't want to be investing in Students when he should have a lot of removal. It sucks to lose all these 1-drops. Like, that is going to throw off my curve. But I think the matchup is going to be grindy enough. It's going to be bogged down on the board with creatures that I don't want the cards at top deck to be more impactful in the matchup. So this is what I want to go for. Okay, this looks like a really good hand. Turn 1 Noble, turn 2 Mimic, and turn 3 and 4 Collect Company. So I am going to keep a little weak to turn 1 discard. He can slow me down quite a bit with this Hierarch by getting that, but I'm not going to mulligan this. So we will just keep and see what happens. Plains. Okay, so Ether Vial, that makes sense. Temple Garden, pay 2 life, get the Hierarch down, and we will pass the turn. Wow. Okay. No card got played. I'm not going to swing it with Hierarch. The question is, do I play the Mirren Crusader? I think I still play the Mimic. But I'm not gonna attack him with the Hierarch. Just because I don't think that he'd be playing a card like Isamaru. But frankly, I don't want to trade with any sort of 1-drop. I'm just not gonna attack. I'm just gonna pass through this turn. There's probably no risk, and of course nothing got filed in, but just in case there's any sort of thing my opponent is playing that is not, that I wouldn't expect, I kind of want to main phase this company. That will inform whether or not I want to attack. Wow. Okay. Well, here we're seeing the issues of running these non-creature cards. I'm really just grabbing a knight, which is not going to trigger. My opponent does not have more lands than me. Okay. Am I willing to risk attacking into Athalia? I think no. I think that I don't need to. I think I have such good cards in my hand that I'm probably winning if I keep this card around. And if he didn't have anything, if he doesn't flash anything in, I'm in such good shape. So what am I fearing on 3? We got Flicker Wisp. We've got Thalia, the one from Shadows of Innistrad, which would be a surprising inclusion in my opponent's deck, but here we are. So he's choosing to go to discard instead of flashing anything in. That is surprising. Tidal Sculler. I could Mimic and Crusader. I kind of like that. I'm not worried about any sort of board wipe anytime soon. So, yeah. There's no advantage to doing that pre-combat, though. So I am just going to swing in with this Knight and see if anything gets flashed in that would make me want to cast Collected Company in response. Okay, here we go. 1 white mana. I don't know what that means. 1 white mana. Path? Sure. Yeah, you got it. My knight is down. Use Path Exile's ability. Yes, please. Yeah, I've got 3 green sources. I'm probably fine. Yeah, I'm just going to play this Mimic into the Crusader. It's mana efficient, and it makes my Collected Company that much better. So now I've got this 4/4. I mean, this thing is going to swing for 10 next turn with the Exalted trigger, or 10 next turn with the Gavany Township. What are we looking at? Wasteland Strangler. Well, you got it. You can exile. You can deal -3/-3. Yeah. So, Crusader is pro-black anyway. So no, it's devoid. That definitely threw me. Yeah. So not surprising. Metallic Mimic goes down. I have enough mana that this Hierarch is not worth a target, and that was the better of the 2 Mimics. So yeah, let's just pass through the turn. Did not tick up the Ether Vial. So he is playing Eldrazi, meaning that I have to look out for Reality. Sorry, not Reality Smasher. The Blinking Eldrazi. It costs 2 and a white. Path to Exile. Yes, I'll use this ability. Okay, alright. I see what's happening here. And am I losing my other Metallic Mimic? Another Wasteland Strangler? Yeah, that looks like that's what that is. Well, good beats. I'm just gonna main phase this. Okay. Double Knight Exemplar. Any reason to get that? I don't think so. I think I want another Mirren Crusader. He's used 2 paths, and I think that's really his only way to get rid of that. So I'm going to grab the Mirren Crusader and a Knight Exemplar, putting those cards on the bottom. Playing another Noble Hierarch, and likely cracking the Horizon Canopy at end of turn. Okay, so no Thought-Knot Seer. I've got no cards in exile, so another Wasteland Strangler is not a threat. Okay. Yeah, let's just crack that. Path is good. Company's good. Okay, I have 7 mana at my disposal, so I get to play one of these plus Path. It'll probably be Collected Company. So let's swing in for 8. Oh, never mind, 10. Forgot 2 Exalted Creatures now. No blocks, okay. So that's half of my opponent's life total. Oh, well, let's see. I guess he does have something. Flicker Wisp? Yeah, it makes sense. You got it. It has been flickered. At least I don't have to worry about him. I'm going to get it back end of turn, so I don't have to worry about him using Wasteland Strangler yeah, here we go. So it's coming back now. Pass the turn. Got Path and Collected Company up. Still no tick up on the Ether Vial. Is there a world where I activate Gavany Township instead of anything else? Instead of playing another Collected Company? Yeah, I'll take 3 for now. No, I think I want to get more on the board. I'm worried about another Flicker Wisp. I mean, that's how he wins, basically time walking me by stopping me from getting any sort of combat damage in. I'm going to want to be attacking with multiple creatures. So getting another Exemplar is going to be really good. I wonder if this deck could use a mirror entity. I mean, this deck's pretty jank as is, and you know, that could just add to the jank funness of it, turning my hierarchs into bigger creatures. And it also, you know, all these guys have pretty low starting stats, so pumping them up. I mean, I think my biggest creature is a 2/2. Yeah, that actually might be pretty good. I will consider that if I ever decide to do another run with this Knights Tribal deck. Okay, so my opponent was in the tank, didn't end up doing anything. Hit for 3 and is going to his end step. Let's see. Even doesn't really stop me from doing this because I'm looking, I'm not searching. So I don't need to worry about that. Yeah, let's just company. See what we get from this. metallic mimic and a knight. Fortunately, the oh wow, this gets the counter. It sees the mimic. I didn't think it would do that, but the more you know. And he's ghost courting that. Yes, I will use it. Get another planes. Okay. Well, I guess Flicker Wisp is his answer to worship. He would have to flicker this. There's no reason to play it pre-combat. I will attack with some indestructible knights. Hopefully he doesn't have a path for the exemplar, or I guess he could flicker wisp to just temporarily remove the exemplar from combat. Well, I mean, this guy would still trade with one. This guy would still trade with one. They were double blocked. It would just be straight trade. Okay. I'm fine with you taking 10 and losing a Strangler. So, unless you got anything. First strike, regular strike, and second main. Yeah, let's just play a worship. See if my opponent brought in any sort of enchantment removal against the Knight tribal deck. I guess he actually might have brought in enchantment removal because of History of Benalia. No, I think that would be... That's probably not how you want to be playing this matchup. Well, I've got a path. Displacer. That's the card I couldn't remember. Well, he can't use his ability, so right now it's just a 3-mana 3/3. Goes up to 4. Okay. So, incoming Thought-Knot Seer, potentially. Probably on my draw step. Going for 3. Yeah, I'll take it. Thalia, not a problem. I guess he could also have Resto. Okay. Yeah, I'll play the Windswept Heath. And I wonder if I attack with everything and get rid of the Displacer, does that put me in good shape? I don't necessarily think it does. I'm just gonna swing in. That's gonna force a chump block of this Crusader. I guess that's the power of a Thought-Knot Seer right now. Thought-Knot Seer and Restoration Angel can both block this. I think Restoration Angel is scarier because it can flicker the Flicker Wisp to remove my Knight Exemplar, and then Thalia and Mirren Crusader trade. Yeah, so let's see what he's got. Thought-Knot Seer. Okay, so it is the Thought-Knot Seer. I can't path in response because then I'll draw, and then he'll just take whatever card I draw. So I'm gonna take out one of his cards. I think it's just this Flicker Wisp. That's the way I lose, is him doing something with the Flicker Wisp. I'm giving him his third land, but he still doesn't have the colorless for this Displacer's ability. So these guys are still indestructible. I'll just let him do his thing. Pretty confident. Just F6 at this point. I am probably not going to crack this on my turn. I'll just crack the Heath at the end of his turn. What lands do I have left? I have 2 plains, a forest, and a temple garden to get. So Still have 4 fetchable lands with the Heath. Okay. He gets nothing. He's got to block some dudes. It'd be a chump if he blocks the Knight or the Mirror Crusader, and he's got to block one of them. So he has to chump at least something. Okay, there goes the Thalia. Makes sense. Thalia's not doing much. Takes 6, down 4. I now have 2 lethal guys. And I'm going to pass turn. No tick up. So Flicker Wisp is, yeah, there we go. All right, and we got the win, taking down Eldrazi and Taxes. Now my opponent's draws both games were not great, but to be fair, I'm kind of gimped by playing Knights in Modern, so I will take the win. All right. Okay, back with another match here. This is a little land light, but we have a Knight of the White Orchard on the draw, which is where this is going to help us sort of overcome that. I mean, if I can hit my lands, this is a really good hand. So I'm going to keep. A little painful with the Canopy and the Heath, but I'm going to go for it. Animation module. All right, I am excited. This is awesome. Metallic Mimic. Okay, so that can be my turn 2 play. So whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on a permanent you control, you may pay 1 to create a servo token. And there's some artifacts. All right. So that does trigger it coming into play with the counter. It does trigger the module. He doesn't have the mana to pay for it though. But this is exciting. I'm excited. I have the Stonies in the sideboard +2 Pride Mages. So I should be in decent shape. Not gonna pay the life. No land. Well, we are gonna play a Metallic Mimic, naming Knight, and pass the turn. This is an exciting matchup. Knights versus animation module. I mean, that's what you see at the GPs. So this is good to run. Spire. So he's got the 3 lands. My Knight of the White Orchid will trigger, so I could go Knight plus Student next turn. That's good for me. I'm a little nervous about how wide he's gonna be able to go by tapping this Ballista. Okay, all right. Is he just gonna make a dude kill my Mimic now? There's the servo. I don't know if I like that. I think I would be putting the +1/+1 counter on Hangerback rather than just making a servo. Okay, so I'm gonna pay the 2 life, get a Knight of the White Orchid, find myself a Plains. Is he going to ping the Mimic in response? I have a feeling he might not, just because... Oh, I mean, there we go. So it's gone. Kind of fine making that trade. Still get my Plains. Yes. Okay, Plains. So do I play the Bodyguard or the Student? I'm probably going to just go play the Bodyguard. I'm going to be tapping out the next couple turns, so I don't have time to level this up. So Bodyguard... naming this guy. All right. Nexus. All right. And he can pay 3 to add a counter to something. Okay. So we could put 2 counters by tapping this and putting and using this. So he can block my Knight of the White Orchid pretty profitably. Or not. It's beginning his upkeep he draws. Okay. This is good. This is good. All right. Land, please. Oof. No land. So is Mirren Crusader or Cavaliers better here? Well, I'm going to swing with the Knight either way, I think, because, maybe he blocks the Padim, maybe he doesn't. Yeah, no blocks. Didn't want to risk it. Not surprising. Man. Mirren Crusader gets through Padim, so that's who I'm playing. There's also the Pro Black could be relevant. I don't know what cards he's gonna have. He could have Battle at the Bridge. I believe he has an ability that allows him to give a creature -X. If I'm thinking of the Agent of Bolas, maybe he doesn't. I've not played with that card. Thoughtcast. Wow. Oh man, this guy's deck is sweet. I am super jealous. Wow. Ravager makes sense. So that he's just gonna eat these tokens, and every time he eats a token, I mean, this is like Thopter Sword. This is pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna Knight. Get myself my 4th planes. Play a Student. Man, I can't even really swing with this. He can easily just chump or sack a couple of guys, and next thing you know, I've lost this. I don't know how I'm going to beat this other than finding a Knight Exemplar. I'll just level this up for now. But this is going to be really hard to beat. I think my cards are much better back. Man, this is with the drawing an extra card each turn because of the Padim. I'm not going to win the late game. So I need to find a way to push through what my opponent has, and that's just going to be so hard. He's going to have, near infinite servos. Yeah, so he's just going to sack a bunch of servos, pump this thing up. Rising Canopy. Well, I'm just going to play this. No Exemplar. Knight of the Reliquary is big. Double Mimics. Double Mimics are bad. If I can find a way to get rid of the Ravager, I'll actually have the most controlled, the highest artifacts. Yeah, I actually think I take these. Naming Knight. Only the second one comes into counter. That's kind of surprising to me. You think they would see each other? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Still no good attacks, though. Okay. Put a counter, make a servo. Yeah, this is sweet. Yeah, this is very reminiscent of Thopter Sword. In fact, I would not be surprised if my opponent was playing that in his deck as well. Wow. Well, I may know what deck I'm going to be building next, because this is sweet. Yep. And that's a reason to get the Mimics right there. They can block the champion. History doesn't do much. I think it's just another company. There's the exemplar. So that's good. My guys now have indestructible. The problem is, they're not getting through this, you know? And my opponent just is going to make a giant guy and then a giant flyer, and then I'm dead next turn. I mean, I'm dead on board to the Arcbound Ravager, just putting a bunch of guys on top of that Hangerback Walker, assuming he makes a flyer, or onto the Blinkmoth Nexus. That's probably the better play. And that could have been a reason to get Knight of the Reliquary instead of one of these Mimics. Getting a Ghost Quarter would allow me to have an answer to the Nexus, but I mean, either way, I'm still dead to him putting all those tokens on all those counters on a what is this, a Thoptic token. But he's tapping the Nexus, and does not seem to be going for it. He's making the tokens now, but they don't have haste. Maybe he doesn't realize that now I've got the blockers for the Ethereal Champion. Okay. I mean, he seems like he's trying to do something. Maybe he has some sort of fling effect. I honestly don't know. I think one of the yeah, that thing's gone. He just doesn't see that I've got these colorless, indestructible guys. Wow. Okay. All right. I've got a shot because he can only bash in for 5 now. Yeah, he's realizing that. He messed up there. Trawler. Oh my god. Okay, so that Ravager's coming back. Oh my god. Arcbound Worker. Company. Okay, so is it 2 of these guys or company here? I mean, company's not going to find more than, you know. No, it's got to be history here. On the crazy chance I managed to make it through this. Jeez. I mean, there's no point in attacking. He just has too many servos that I need to stay back and block. Yep, there's the Tezzeret. So when he ultimates this, I lose. Does a lot of damage. Oh, I see. Never mind. I'm dead. Okay. Well, I'll let him do it. Let's see how much damage I'm going to take here. Pew. Negative 27. That's lethal. Close, but I think he's got it. All right. Okay, so I've got the Stony Silences. Very good. I've got Kasali Pride Mage, and I've got Explosives. So that's good. These are going to help me answer this. Worship does not stop the Tezzeret Ultimate. This does, though. Right? Target player. So this stops that, but probably a little weak. I wonder if I want Path. Or do I just really lean on Stony Silence and Pride Mage? Okay. I'm going to trim these histories because I'm bringing in 3 non-creature and I don't want to mess with my collected company. Let's just lose these knights. Maybe students. Students are really unimpressing me in this deck. I think the next run is not going to have very many students. Let's do this. All right. So I will be on the play for game 2. All right, this looks pretty good. Turn 1 Hierarch. I gotta play one of these things on turn 3. I've got Path. Yeah, this looks good. I'm definitely gonna keep this. I'm gonna start with a Temple Garden, so we'll just crack the Arid Mesa. Opponent kept as well. Oh no, it looks like he mulliganed and put a card on top. Temple Garden. Pay the 2 life. Get down the Hierarch. And yield through the turn. No animation module. Do I want to get the Mimic down? I'm inclined to just get this Knight down and start beating. It's a 4/4. It can attack as a 5/5 next turn. I really want to put pressure on my opponent if possible. Is he just going to take out the Hierarch? Yeah, Hierarch down. Got a land, and it's a fetch land, so Knight's getting bigger. Let's just go Plains, Cavaliers, and Smash Face. Opponent has no artifacts, so I'm not worried about him getting, well, there's the first artifact. So, but he's not going to have Metalcraft for the champion. Nothing at all. There's the company I can't play. So this just feels like Mimic and Hold Up Path. But we're going to swing first. Crack for 8. Connect. Burn opponent 7. Knight. And pass the turn. Nexus. So our Knight of the White Orchid will be active next turn. Mox Opal. Doesn't have Metalcraft yet. Tezzeret. Okay. I don't think that does anything. Yeah, because this is going to be a 5/5, but I just path it, and that's game. Yeah. Opponent just had a little too slow of a start here. Yeah. All right, let's see if we can do that again. I don't think that there's anything I want to change here. maybe cut this student for another path, considering that worked out pretty well. And the students, the more I think about it, they're not good. I mean, they're cute. They look exciting on the surface, but I'm just using up my mana too much. I don't have enough leftover mana, and when I do, I have other ways to use it, like with Gavany Townships or Rising Canopy. These things probably don't belong in the deck. Probably want additional bodyguards, maybe additional crusaders, maybe a Wiltleaf Liege, run more green-white creatures. I don't know. I'll definitely revisit this deck after this match. Well, don't think this hand is keepable. My opponent's kept, but I will not. I'm going to mulligan. This hand's not great, but I think it's better than the average 5. Like, if I just had 3 lands in these 2 cards as a 5-card hand, I would snap keep that. That'd be like perfect 5. So I'm going to keep this one. And yeah, hopefully the Scry will get us like a Stony, and it doesn't. But we will put that on the bottom. Put a Plains on the bottom. Let's see if I draw it. There's the animation module. No, I gotta collected company, so I'm not gonna pay life. What 2-drop does my opponent have? He's got Ravager, Ballista, Hangerback, Glint Nest Crane. Awesome. That is awesome. Walking Ballista. Okay. So I'm going to play my Mimic, naming Knight. My opponent is going to play land, Ballista, triggering this. He'll have an extra mana, make a servo, ping down the Mimic. Oh, he's got an Opal too. Well, that might just mean Tezzeret is coming down. Or Ballista for 2. Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, I'm going to play this Exemplar. If my opponent wants to spend 4 mana putting a counter on this and then removing both counters to take out the Exemplar, I'm okay with that. Hopefully he doesn't, though, and I can company get the other Exemplar and just have a bunch of indestructible knights. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it looks like that might be what he's doing. I mean, either way, if that's what's happening, he's just making a servo, hitting me for 1. Okay. Well, I'm going to play land. I'm going to play a collected company. He might just have to do this in response. Because if I find another Exemplar... he didn't. Well, I've got some good cards. He may take out the Pride Mage. I guess my opponent can also use this to pay 3 mana to get a counter in here instead of using 4. So he has 6 mana available. He can definitely put a counter on it and then shoot something down twice. But yeah, so he's going to do that. Make a servo. He has 2 mana left over. Okay, he's going to take out the Pride Mage. That's not surprising. Still holding back the Glint Nest Crane. Okay, I'm going to company though. Hope to find another exemplar. Yes! So, if I click on this first, the other exemplar gets the counter? I have no idea how this works. But I'm going to play Knight. Alrighty then. I now have a bunch of indestructible guys. And I'm swinging for 8. So, not super worried about Ballista now. Okay, chump there, chump there. Okay. What can my opponent do? Well, he has 7 mana, which means he can immediately play a Tezzeret and trigger it, its ultimate, by playing it for 4, animation module, put the 4th counter on it. But he only has 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts, meaning he can deal 8 damage to me. Yeah, that's not, not enough. He needs 10 artifacts in order to have a lethal Tezzeret ultimate. So maybe I really need to focus on not losing any life if I can help it. So fetching might be something I don't want to do. Although I guess if he wants to poke me for 1, he can do that by attacking with the Crane, but forcing him to attack with the Crane is probably good for me. He can put 2 counters on the Ballista, but it's still a 3/3, meaning it'd be dead to any of my creatures. Can't block it at least. I have 16 damage on board. Next turn, I pay 2, Ghost Quarter, Forest, Mimic, pay white, play Knight. What does my opponent have? 4 mana. Nope. Let's try that again. Okay, so he does have the Tezzeret that he could ultimate immediately, but it's probably not going to live. I guess he can make something an artifact. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take out the Tezzeret. It's going to be hard, I think, for him to have enough blockers to profitably block an all-out attack on the Tezzeret. And I may not even want to do that. I may just want to go face. Does he gain life? Yeah, he does gain life, so I guess I really do need to take it out. Grabs an animation module. That's fine. The thing I'm worried about is playing like a Hangerback or an Arcbound. The Arcbound Ravager, I think, is really good here because you could play it, triggers this, gets a servo, has 4 blockers. Okay, Ballista for 1. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm just gonna send everything to Tezzeret. And he's gonna have to do some jumps if he wants Tezzeret to live. I'm just gonna swing all. Attack all creatures at Tezzeret. Chump there, chump there, chump there, chump there. Okay. I guess I'll get pinged twice. Yeah. Let's see the other ping. There we go. Okay. All right. Your Tezzeret's alive, but you've got an animation module in hand. My cat is unhappy that he's not allowed in this room right now. Okay, so Mimic followed by Knight. It's going to be a 6/6. Use the ability. Get a Temple Garden. No, I don't need to play the Hierarch. And back to you. I'm not really sure what my opponent can do. Glimmer Void. So he's got an animation module and an unknown card. He's looking. Yeah, that is the card. That can let him get a bunch of chump blockers. But I don't know if it's going to give him enough, because he does need to lose an artifact each time. Okay. I think he wanted to play the module prior to playing the Ravager. Get an extra trigger. That way, every single counter, he can sink 2 mana in and get... Yeah, there we go. So he was messed that up. So if he sacks the Opal and the Citadel, he can make 4 more guys. That's 5 blockers. Lets the 3/3 through. What's he playing here? Okay, so he did sack the Opal, as I thought he would. He's going to get 2 triggers, 2 more guys. Yep. I'm guessing the Citadel is next. Or it will be, but just not right now. What we got? Planes. Play the Hierarch. Well, everything's coming in at the Tezzeret. Attack with all creatures. Tezzeret, Agent of Bolus. And yep, there goes the Citadel. Makes 2 more guys. He has 6 blockers. Will lose all of his servos except for 1. No, he'll lose them all. And then next turn he... Okay, yeah. So everything's down. Lost all of his servos. Yep. So he's got a bunch of triggers. Thankfully, he can't do anything about that. But it's going to just be so easy for him to... It's going to be really easy for him to just keep this thing out of range and make a bunch of chump blockers every single turn. I really need him to whiff on this Tezzeret. Okay, so nothing dies, everything got chump blocked. Yeah, I guess I just dumped my hand. Yield through the turn. I guess there was an argument for Ghost Quartering the Nexus now, being 1 less artifact for him to sacrifice. Well, my opponent is running out of time. I would hate to win because my opponent timed out, but he does need to do something. Scrap Trawler is something. It will let him get back a Ballista when he sacks it. But by paying 3 mana, that's really limiting the number of servos he can make to chump with. He can only make 3? I mean, he sacks the Scrap Trawler, pays 2, gets Mox Opal, plays the Mox Opal, taps it for mana, sacks it, gets 2 more guys. That's not a winning play. Ticks down the Tezzeret, makes an animation module a 5/5. That would give him 6 blockers, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. Okay, so he's ticking up. He's going to need something good. Puts no cards into his hand, so he whiffs. That is not good for him. Give me the GG. Yeah, his deck was sweet. I liked that a lot. But we won. Wow. Somehow Knights takes down Animation Module, Arcbound Ravager.